Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl Money. I'm back again with another video. In this particular video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13. It's episode 13, I want to say. Yes, 10, 10, 20. Now, we finally got to the episode where they were going to show about Cynthia's wedding. We finally got to the wedding. She's been talking about the wedding all season long. It's been low key annoying. But before I get into the whole review, the whole whatever about what I have to say about it, I really do love Cynthia, and she's definitely grown over me over the years. As y'all know, Cynthia has been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta for a really long time, since season three, I want to say. Yeah, since season three. And y'all know, Cynthia used to be a flip flopper. Cynthia used to get on all of our nerves, but to see her grown into a grown woman, coming into her own, seeing her stand up for herself and, speaking on situations that she feels some type of way about, and just seeing her growth over the years is truly amazing. I'm happy for her and all her accomplishments she's made, and through all the hell that she went through with Peter. I honestly feel like, everything in life happens for a reason. She definitely met Mike for a reason. I believe he is the one for her. I do still feel as if they shouldn't have rushed and got married, because in my opinion, if I get to know someone, I don't want to just go ahead and rush, and get with them. You know what I'm saying? I would at least take a few years, take about what, like 4 or 5 years of being with someone and then dating them. But that's just, excuse me, and then marrying them. But that's just me, because I don't want to be in a situation where, I rush to get married and then something goes wrong or whatever the case may be. But I think their situation is different, because I definitely have not seen Cynthia this happy. She damn sure wasn't this happy when she was with Peter. And that's just me being real, me being honest. Because Peter low key was a scammer, and Peter took all her money, and Peter just wasn't, in my opinion, he wasn't as good of a husband as he could have been to her. And he was constantly caught up in bullshit, and then all that shit that was all her, all the stuff they went through, seeing it being played out on television, that can drift people apart also as well. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like everything. I'm back, y'all. But yeah, I feel like everything happens for a reason in life. But she is 54 now. She just celebrated her 54th birthday. Um, let me hold on, you guys. Let me check her Instagram and see when that was. So I'll be able to tell you guys specifically when she turned 54. But hold on, you guys. Oh yeah, I got my hair done every month. My hair is gonna be braided. It's gonna be like a different style, of course. So I got this little cute little style, whatever. But I'm getting my life, of course. Um, let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just looking at something else, child. Oh yeah, and y'all best believe it, y'all. I'm going to read, roast, and saute Latoya. Okay, Latoya is going to get dragged. I'm not going to drag Portia as much as I normally would, because this episode she didn't annoy me that much. Only like 3 times. But Latoya took the cake. She she pissed me off. So I'm gonna get to her in a little bit. But anyway, let me go to it. Um, Damn, what happened to that picture where she turned 54? She posted it. I literally saw it. I saw the picture when she did. Okay, so February 19th, she turned 54, and I think that's amazing. Like, when I get old, I want to look as amazing and as beautiful and as stunning as Cynthia looks. She looks amazing for her age. And I know with how well she takes care of herself, she's going to be living a long time. Definitely. For sure. And I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy for her and all these accomplishments and everything she was able to get done and get finished. She deserves that. You know what I'm saying? So I I definitely want. Okay, so let me go back, child. Let me go back to my notes, honey. But yeah, I'm definitely going to fucking drag Latoya, okay? Because she tried my nerves this episode. Let's get into it. So we start off this episode with Cynthia and Noelle, and they're getting these massages, and Cynthia's just low key like complaining about because apparently a hurricane was gonna hit or something like that, and she just doesn't want her wedding day to be ruined. But in my honest opinion, I feel like I, among with a lot of other people in America, felt like she rushed this wedding, and had she just got a small little intimate gathering, and then after the pandemic did something big and boisterous when everybody was safe again. I felt like that would have been better instead of rushing it. I mean, looking at the wedding later on in this episode, you can see that it was clearly rushed. Like it was clearly rushed. Too much was going on. A lot of things were going bad. A lot of things were going wrong. So you should have just waited, girl. To be honest, because if it was me, I would not want to be having a wedding in COVID anyway. If it was me, like I don't want to wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. I honestly felt like she could have just did a small gathering like Mac wanted in the first place. You know what I'm saying? All those people didn't need to be there, in my opinion. Like I know they have a lot of people and a lot of friends and all this or whatever that they're close to, but really, if we're gonna be honest, you could have had like a small gathering or whatever, and then eventually when the pandemic or when COVID goes away or whatever, or when it's safe physically again, you could have did a big wedding then. But the fact that you rushed all this and got all the footage to Bravo and all this, I felt like you were doing the most, honestly. And in this whole season, all you've been talking about is the wedding. Like legit, that's your whole storyline. What else are you gonna have to talk about now that y'all have gotten married? I mean, I'm glad and happy that y'all have gotten married, but it was just like really annoying because you were constantly talking about it. You're talking about it every episode, like literally. Like it was honestly annoying. Like I was happy and excited for you, and I still am, but I'm gonna have to drag you on that because it's like at this point we're tired of hearing you talk about it. Like finally, yes, you're Mrs. Hill, and we're happy for you. We're happy as hell that you're with someone that actually loves you, values you, cares about you. You know what I'm saying? That's not gonna use you. And I honestly don't believe Mike will. I mean, I was side eyeing him when he admitted in every relationship he's been in, he's cheated on his significant other. And he's been married a few times, and that was kind of red flags for me. But I honestly feel like Mike is in love with her. She's in love with him. Nothing's going to get in the way of them separating. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. She's definitely has never been this happy with Peter ever in her life. And that's just me being real, me being straight up, me being honest. She's never been that happy with Peter ever, ever. And I honestly felt I was honestly surprised that she would even allow Marlo and I mean not Marlo, God, what's her name, Mallory, anywhere near that because remember the last wedding they hit her marriage license. I would just be cautious of stuff like that, but I could definitely tell they definitely like Mike a lot more than they liked Peter. I mean they couldn't stand Peter honestly, you know, at first. They couldn't stand him. They hated his guts, definitely, But I can see the glow on Cynthia's face. Like I don't feel like she's doing it for a storyline. I don't feel like she's paying him. I feel like what they got is real. That's some real stuff that you can't fake. I'm sorry, Cynthia's never glowed up like that ever before. Especially when she was with Peter. She's never done that, and she's the happiest I've ever seen her. So kudos to her. and Mike. I'm happy for them. Okay, so the next scene was Portia's talking to Lauren about seeing Dennis at the wedding. I'm just sitting up here like, girl, like it's not that deep. I can promise you, you're not gonna sit there and break out in hives. I can promise you, you're not gonna sit up there and break out in tears. You know, I understand that you at one point were going to marry Dennis, but he ain't shit. So get over it. I mean, I still at the same time don't understand why they invited Dennis to the wedding anyway, because it's not like Mike and Dennis are best friends. Like, I don't know. I'm telling y'all, it was probably production. Production probably invited him just to be messy. Honestly, I highly doubt that they're even close like that. Like, if it was me, I'd just be like, I don't want that nigga here. And then they were just saying, I mean, Cynthia just said weeks prior to that he wasn't invited because of Portia's issue with him. Somehow he still ended up coming. Production messy. I'm telling y'all, production is messy. Okay, so the next scene is. Oh, also I wanted to point out that more and more as the years go by, Portia looks more and more like Lauren. Honestly, like it's just amazing how similar they look. They're both two beautiful women, but as y'all know, I can't stand Portia. I used to like Portia a long time ago. Then when she started all this other bullshit, this fake ass bullshit, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have time for the shenanigans and for her lies and for her not owning up to the shit that she does. Like, that's my main issue with her. I don't give a fuck if it's old. She's still yet doing the same shit and then getting in hate groups and trying to start shit with people, you know. But when Kenya calls her out or Kenya does something or whatever, it's a whole different situation. You want to sit here and play the victim. I'm so tired of you and your victim complex. I'm so tired of you acting like a victim because, bitch, you are not a victim. Nobody on this show is a victim, okay? Nobody. So stop. Stop. You sound ridiculous. Okay. All right, and then I'm looking at my notes over here, and I'm done. Then it had to cut to Drew in yet a horrible, fake ass Storm wig. This wig looks worse than the one that she had on last episode. Drew, are you trolling us, or are you being for real? You have to be trolling us. Because I just keep going back to that episode where you said you had a top stylist. We still don't know who your stylist's name. You can't have a top stylist because of your wigs and your weaves looking this bad, okay? There's no way. No way. There's no way you have a top stylist, okay? Like we told you, go to Tokyo Vanity, go to Malibu Dollface, okay? Or go to Color Me Pink because she would style you better than what you're doing. No, ma'am. I'm not here for that old ass 2003 Storm wig. It looks worse than the other wig from the last episode. I'm not here for this. I'm gonna need for you to get it together. These wigs are horrible, literally horrible, horrible. I can't believe you walked with that on and they didn't and Ralph didn't get you together. I can't. I can't. I can't. She's trolling us. There's no way she's taking this seriously. No way. I don't believe it. But in the same scene, so they're basically just spending time with their kids, and their kids are so cute. That's one thing I will give them. Their kids are cute, but Ralph still ain't on my favorite husbands list. I still feel some type of way towards him, but we'll get to that because we still don't know what the hell happened in Tampa. Like I'm trying to figure out what the fuck happened in Tampa. What the fuck? Who? What bitch were you with? Like we still don't know, and I want to know. Shit. All right. So then the next scene is Cynthia's rehearsal dinner. All of Cynthia's friends and family got all together. Um, Eva was there. Candy was there. Who else I want to say? Eva, Candy was there. Kenya was there, and a bunch of other people. And I thought it was kind of ghetto and funny. Oh God. I thought it was hilarious how Cynthia gonna order them pizza and shit. Like, in my opinion, I thought that shit was ghetto as hell. But at the same time, I understand. It's a rehearsal dinner. You're not trying to pay all that money out for something big and extravagant. I get that completely. Eva rings the doorbell and she's looking snatched, honey. And at the same time, point in time, I'm sitting here like, damn, I really wish Eva would have came back this season. She would have shook the table. Can you imagine her, Kenya, and Cynthia, and Candy all together, girl? And if y'all don't know, Kenya and Eva became really, really close. And they are still in contact. They still talk. They're friends outside of the show, of course. You know, and I'm so upset because Eva didn't come back. Yeah, Eva. My only issue with Eva when she was on is that she would lie about things and she wouldn't be honest, and that was my only problem with her. But dang, she could have came back non-pregnant and been snatched. And when she came up there to Cynthia's house, it was just amazing. Like she looked amazing. It's like a babe. It's like you didn't even know like she was pregnant at any point. That's how her snatchback was, honey. She gave me everything. Honestly, I do. Honestly, and I wrote this down. I'm gonna read y'all what I said. I do wish they stopped wearing those silly ass face shields. Honestly, I really do, because I just feel like, what's the point? Aren't you supposed to wear the face shield and then a mask under it to secure yourself more, to protect yourself more? What is the point of wearing a face shield without a mask covering your face? I think that's dumb. I'm just being honest. But that's just my opinion. Whatever. And Mike basically was telling everybody, we're just I'm just excited for this. This is all about Cynthia. But he was low key dragging her, but he was telling the truth. Because to be honest, she wanted the big and boisterous wedding. He didn't care if it was just her and him. He didn't care if it was just her and him and 15 people. He didn't care where they got married at as long as they were married, honestly. So I feel him on that. But I love the fact that Mike is willing to support her no matter what, even if he felt originally like they could have just did something small and something simple, which I felt the same way. But Cynthia wanted to do it all big or whatever, and I still feel as if it was rushed. But that's just my personal opinion. Then Eva, um, Eva and Cynthia go outside. Kenya comes and Candy comes, and they're all talking about the article that about what Wendy Williams said about Cynthia doing the wedding during a pandemic. And to be honest, I may can't stand Wendy Williams, and I may feel as if she's very problematic and she's very ignorant and biased towards certain people. I may feel that way, but in this instance, in this case, I feel like Wendy was 100% right. If it was me, I would not be trying to have a wedding in no pandemic. I'm sorry. And if I did get married, I would get married in the courthouse and then do like a gathering or a get together or whatever when the pandemic goes away and when everything is safe again. That's me personally. That's what I would have done. I feel as if Wendy is allowed to state her opinion. She's a public figure. This is a topic of discussion. So of course you're gonna have those people that are gonna throw stones, you're gonna have those people that'll support you. Me, I support her, but at the same time I also feel the same way. Like I feel as if you could have waited. You didn't have to push this. I feel as if it was still rushed because everything was still going wrong and going bad. And when things go wrong and go bad, what does that mean? That means you're rushing into this. You're not taking your time. You're not planning things out thoughtfully. Like you're rushing into it. And that's basically what it was. So I understood where Wendy Williams was coming from. I just feel like you're putting people at risk in a situation like that. Yeah, they got tested, they got sanitized, they got all that. But you could still get it. Like you could still get COVID. Like I've seen people do the necessary precautions and they still got COVID. So it's like I don't know how I feel about that, but I understood how it felt. I understand how Cynthia feels. Like she feels probably judged or whatever, and she feels the type of way about it. But it's like Wendy wasn't lying with what she said. I understood where she was coming from. At the same time. But mm, oh, and no, and then after that scene, Kenya pulled up in her Bentley or whatever, and I think that she's had that car for quite a while, I guess. And then Kenya and Eva kissed on the cheek, and they started to talk. Honestly, I wanted to try some of that wine and what they were drinking because it looked good. It looked delicious. And Kenya basically reiterated what I was saying a few minutes ago. Legit, well, can't even say a few minutes ago, a few seconds ago, about the whole Cynthia getting married during a pandemic situation. You know, she was basically saying that there's going to be people who are going to judge you. You're just going to have to roll with it. And she's right. I mean, you decided to get married during a pandemic. You decided to get married during a trying time like this, you know, with all the risks out there, with all the precautions out there and all that. So it's like you can't get upset or get pressed if someone doesn't agree with that. Because I mean, was Wendy wrong with what she said? No, because we all I know I was one of the people that were wondering why the hell are you having a wedding during a pandemic? You know, who wants to be wearing masks while they're standing next to someone getting married? Around a whole bunch of people. Like, who wants to do that? Honestly, like, I don't know. That's some ghetto shit. So, but that's just my opinion about that. I'm just being real about that. Wouldn't have been me, but you know. Moving on. Then Candy pulls up and gives all of them kisses. It's just so great to see Candy, Eva, Kenya, and Cynthia all in the same, breath. And I knew that they were going to be her bridesmaids because, to be honest, Cynthia's closest to Candy, Kenya, and Eva, excuse me, to be honest. Duh. Yes, she gave Nene an invite, but Nene was not going to show up and not get paid for that. But I still think that's messed up, though. Regardless if you left the show or not, you still should have came up and supported her. Period. Regardless of how you feel towards Bravo at this point, I feel like that's messed up. You and Cynthia have been friends for a long time, Nene, and you are wrong for not going to that girl's marriage. You went to her first marriage, so she should have went to this one. That is messed up and that is wrong. And you are fucked up for that, for doing her like that. It is not her fault how you feel towards Bravo. But anyway, moving on. And then after that, Cynthia starts bringing up the bachelor party, and then Eva sitting up there trying to get all the tea. And to be honest, if it was me, I would be doing the same thing. Especially if I was a friend of the show, I'd be like, "Girl, so what's the tea? Like, what happened at the bachelorette party? Who was sucking who? Who was fucking who? Like, what happened?" If it was me, I would be the same. I would be acting just like Eva, regardless if Eva's on the show as a regular or not, or as a friend to the show, whatever the case may be. If it was me, I would be doing that. Sorry, I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. I would be wanting to know all the information because this story when it first got to the blogs, we were all trying to figure out and pinpoint, you know, who fucked who, like who was participating in the threesome, who was involved. You know what I'm saying? Who fucked the stripper? Everybody was trying to figure it out. Like, let's just be honest and let's just be real. If this storyline isn't tiring through to me, I just want to know, and I want to see them confirm. I already feel and believe in my heart, you know, Portia and Tanya, of course, were a part of that. Duh. Portia, Tanya, and I believe Drew and Toya also did some things that they shouldn't have done. You know, but that's just my personal opinion. But I just want people to confirm it. Like, I'm getting more and more amped and ready for the reunion because I want everybody to be exposed. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. I want them to be exposed. I want to see more footage. I want to know what else do they have because, like Kenya said on Candy Speak on It, I believe 100% that I believe 100% that there is more audio, more footage, and I believe 100% that Kenny is going to protect herself and she's going to pull those receipts. She's never had an issue before with pulling receipts. She's not going to let those girls talk down on her or act as if she's lying and not telling the truth, or act as if she's dragging them in the dirt when she's just putting it out there. She's putting it out there because of them and them saying that they were going to sue her. Somebody did that to me, I would do everything in my power to protect myself, and then also prove my point. Because one thing about it, two things for sure, Kenya Summer Moore is not a liar. Okay, she has no problem dropping receipts. She's always been right about everything that she said. Everything that she said has always came to be true, and can't nobody tell me or sit up here and try to make it seem like she doesn't tell the truth. She always tells the truth. She's never lied. Not since she's been on the show, period. She's never lied about nothing. So that's just period on that. And then Kenya was sitting there, telling Eva about everything about what happened or whatever. And Eva is basically getting them together, getting Cynthia and Candy together because she just feels like, when did y'all all of a sudden not want to spill the tea or not want to talk about it? And then Cynthia's basically like, Cha, I love Kenya, but I don't want to talk about Bolo no more. I get it. I mean, for them, it's probably like tired and through, but it's like us, the viewers, we're nosy bitches. We want to know what's going on. We want to know who did it. You know what I'm saying? We want to actually confirm. Like, we want to know more details about it because it's like you will be a liar if you sit up here and say you don't want to know more details about it. I want to know more details about it, and a whole bunch of other people want to know more details about it. There's a lot of people on Twitter talking about, oh, Kenya, broke girl code. First of all, that would only apply if they were friends. And I 100% feel as if it was Cynthia, if it was Eva, if it was Candy, 100%, she would not say a word. She would talk to them off camera about that. She's not gonna go and drag them in the mud like that because she's never done her friends like that. Like, let's be clear and let's be honest here. Portia isn't her friend. Period. Drew isn't her friend. Period. Drew fucked that up for herself by doing the most and being Portia's lapdog. But we'll get to that later. And even if Shamia is involved, I wouldn't be surprised if she was involved or not, because she's a freak hoe, always has been. I mean, I love Shamia, but the truth is the truth. She's a freak hoe. It's it is what it is. She's a freak hoe. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Shamia. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and say anything bad about her, but she's a freak hoe, just like Portia is. It is what it is. Own your truth. Own up to what you are. You know what I'm saying? So it is it is what it is. And then they start talking about. Candy starts saying, starts saying to Cynthia, oh, did you see what was going on with the coffee table? And I'm sitting here like, bitch, what happened with the coffee table? I was Eva this whole time of them having this discussion. Period. I was Eva and I was Kenya, definitely. Um, and then Candy says it might have been some lips close to some lips, as in some lips close to some lips, basically alluding that somebody was getting ate out. Catch that tease. But girl. And then Candy basically is saying, as long as it wasn't these lips, meaning herself, it don't matter. Live your best life. And Cynthia hits her with the clap and says, I know that's right. At the same time, I get where they're coming from too. But at the same time, the way Kenya's looking at it, she's just like, I'm gonna put this out here. She already explained on Speak on it why she put it out there anyway. But because of them acting a certain way or want to be in denial and all that, she gonna expose them, and she ain't wrong. I don't care what nobody has to say about it. You know what I'm saying? I respect everybody's different opinions, but it's like, don't sit here and try to make it seem like she's the villain or whatever. When, like she said later on, like she said, because in a couple of minutes from now, she's gonna talk about that. Um. mm, And then after that, Kenya, she does a confessional and she says that she's the only one with balls enough to say what happened at the bachelorette party. And she says, I think Portia will discredit me. She's gonna try to lie. I already see the plays, and I agree 100%. Like, let's just be honest. That's what Portia does. Every time she's caught up into bullshit, she want to lie her way out of it and try and put the blame on someone else, and then try to put someone else under the bus. She always does that. She did that. Rape Gate. She did that every time she's been called out about something. She did that when Candy told her basically, "Girl, you mess with women. It's okay." It's like she wanted to lie. She wanted to sit up here and lie and try and put it off on Candy. Like, Candy's never been secretive about her sexuality. She's never been secret about her having threesomes with Todd. She's never been secret about her experiences with women. She's always been honest, and she's put everything out there, and she lives in her truth. That's one thing I respect about Candy. She lives in her truth. She doesn't sit up here and act a certain way. Like, she lives in her truth. She's honest. She's straightforward. A lot of bitches could learn from Candy, to be honest. Like, just be who you are, live in your truth. Be real, be honest, be true. I don't get that. Like, And even if it was me, I don't have to be drunk to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was me, like if I was a single person and if I was in that situation, that scenario, yeah, I would have been one of those people fucking Bella. I don't give a fuck, and I would be honest about it. I'd be like, yeah, I did. And your point, like that would be me. I wouldn't get all hostile with Kenya and then be all dismissive towards her and all whatever. I would have just been like, yeah, that happened, whatever. Like I could see me and Kenya, like if I was in that situation, me and Kenya probably would be friends because I love her. I love her honesty. Like what you see is what you get. Just like Candy said in her speak on it. What you see is what you get from Kenya, and that's straight up. She's not fake. She's not phony. She's as real as it gets. And yes, she'll do crazy things from time to time, and you won't agree with her all the time. But it's like, come on, what you see is what you get. And that's just what it is. And then after that part, Cynthia and Eva go inside, and then Kenya and Candy start talking, and Kenya thanks Candy for not leaving her in the dust to talk about it. And Candy says, "Here's the thing, Kenya. A person said that they were in the room, and I don't want to ruin that person's relationship." And the camera flashes back to to when Tanya said that she was in the room with Portia and that whole thing. And then Kenya says, "I don't want to really ruin their relationship either. I'm just saying, don't have me looking crazy out here." And she right. Like, don't make it seem as if I'm lying on anybody. That's one thing. Like Kenya's never lied on anybody. So I understand why she's on that because she's like just like you're not gonna sit here and try to make me look crazy, try to make it seem as if I'm lying on somebody when I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And then they flash it to Kenya's confessional, and then a producer asks her, "Why is it so important to you that the truth comes out about what happened in South Carolina?" South Carolina, excuse me. And then Kenya says, "I think it's important because if you do something with all these eyes around you, you can't expect for it not to be talked about because if it were me, honey, they will be having a parade. Let's level the playing field here." And she's absolutely right. They would. They will be dragging her for Phil, calling her all types of hoes, calling her all types of sluts, all types of whores, all that. They will be dragging her for Phil. And I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to get Mark involved in that. I wouldn't be surprised because they don't see it for Kenya. Kenya isn't friends with everybody on the cast like that. Like I said, it's only a few people I know that she's actually cool with outside of the show. These other bitches, they don't see it for her, and they will do anything to start with her and try and make her look like the bad guy. They will do that. We've seen it time after time after time. And Kenya don't fuck with a lot of people, and she don't trust a lot of people either. So it is what it is. And then it cuts back to Kenya talking to Candy, and she says, "I'm not asking you to lie. I'm saying don't leave me with my panties down. They already had their panties down." And I fell out when she said that. And then Candy says in her confessional, "I don't feel that like people should be shamed for whatever they want to do sexually. That's their business. Leave them alone." I get where she's coming from, but it's not even about shaming nobody. But just don't sit up here and lie and try and make it seem like you didn't fuck on that stripper or that you didn't engage in no sexual acts. Because it wasn't just the stripper they were fucking around with; they were fucking around with each other. So it's not like it's just Bolo they're focusing on. I want the whole truth out. I want, the tea about whoever in Bola, which everybody already thinks is Portia and Tanya because they did some shit. We're not dumb, okay? And I want to know who else fucked between the girls. Hey, that's also something I want to know. And then Kenya says to her, they're gonna try to say I'm lying. I already see the place she's lying, or I'm gonna sue her, whatever the craziness is. Candy says in response, "Well, can't nobody sue you, child." The way she said it killed me. And then Kenya says, "I know nobody's going to sue me because guess who I'm going to name as a witness?" Candy laughs and says, "Don't be putting me in that." And Kenya says, "You and Marlo." And then it cuts to them being at the niece's party. And, well, it's called a night in the nieces or something like that. Something like that. Whatever. Hashtag don't no judgment or something like that. Whatever. Um, Also, I wanted to point out I hated Portia's wig. I hated it. It looked awful. It looked like she got that wig from the 1950s, like she was somebody's grandmother. I hated it. Like her name was Bertha. I hated her wig. Ugh. You've had better wigs, Portia. Get it together. Please get it together. Regardless of how I feel about you personally, get your wigs choices together. Then they start talking about Cynthia's party, and then they were talking about the whole thing about, and then there's the they start talking about Cynthia's party, and then they start flashing back the article from B. Scott, and that the producers are shady. They're shady up for flashing back the video of what Kenya said. Kenya said that she basically didn't leak the blogs to Page Six, but if it came to B. Scott and TMZ, maybe. And then they flash it back again, and it just makes Kenya look very, very shady, very, very shady. And then they, oh no 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 no, I got that wrong. I got that wrong. Sorry guys. They showed Kenya's video, and it her hashtag it wasn't me. She said, "Don't play with me." She said, "Don't play with me, honey. It wasn't me on a meat stick riding a meat something." She said something like that, and I died. And then they flashed it, and they were talking about Marlo doing the hashtag, and then Latoya doing the hashtag after that, and they were feeling some type of way. And then Marlo makes up this lie, this story about her um nephew, basically about her nephew, asking her about it. Yeah, I feel like she was telling the truth about that, but then again, she was lying, talking about she didn't see Kenya's post. Even though Kenya had her blocked, I'm pretty sure Marlo was lurking on her lurker account. I'm not stupid. I definitely do think that she was making sure to clear her name, regardless. So, and then in a confessional, Portia starts talking once again about Kenya and about Marlo's relationship, talking about that Kenya's using her and this other bullshit she's talking about. And then this is what I said in my notes. I said, Portia, shut the fuck up. Cynthia is the one that brought Kenya and Marlo together to squash it. Funny how y'all are about to fall out because of you and your shenanigans. And it is nothing but the truth. Because it's like, girl, like you this pressed over Kenya. Like you just pressed over Kenya. Yeah, Kenya felt some type of way about Toya and you having a moment or whatever, but as you can see, like Kenya hasn't really been pressed over you like that. Like as pressed as you are about Marlo and Kenya becoming friends, it's ridiculous. Like you just need to shut the fuck up and not run your gums because it's because of Cynthia that they're cool again, that they're friends again. Cynthia's the one that brought them together. Okay, Marlo didn't come to Kenya on her own. Cynthia brought them together, and they all had a talk, and they actually talked about things, and they actually realized like, hey, we're tired of arguing because us the viewers, like I said again, us the viewers, we're tired of seeing them argue. We're tired of seeing them, going back and forth about ridiculous stuff. We want to see them win and succeed and be cool and be friends and develop a good friendship. And I can already see the cracks in Portia and Marlo's relationship, and that's gonna be because of Portia and her bullshit. It ain't gonna be because of Kenya trying to start nothing. It's because of Portia. See, I see right through that. I see right through that shit. Period. I see right through it. Mm-mm. See right through it. So they're still talking about that, and Marlo says, "I know you don't fuck with her, so maybe you shouldn't be around that energy." But that Portia isn't going to regulate who she's friends with, and I said as it should be, and that's on period. Yeah, you're not going to tell me who to be friends with. One thing about it, two things for sure. If I'm talking to my homegirls, and my homegirls got an issue with someone that I'm friends with, I'm not going to bring up my homegirls up to them, or vice versa, because I feel as if that's messy. As long as she's not doing that, it shouldn't be an issue. Like, don't nobody want to have a friendship with someone if they're gonna be talked about to the next person that don't like them, and that's a messy situation. Like I feel as if that's messy. Why bring up your homegirls to people to people you're cool with that you know your homegirls ain't cool with or they're fooling with like that. Like, why would you bring your homegirl up to those same people that you know don't do that? Like, that's being messy and that's being fake, and I'm not with it. I'm not gonna let nobody that I fool with for real, and that I fuck with for real, and that I'm ride hard for be disrespected in any term. And I'm gonna say you can feel how you want to feel about her on your own term, your own time, but don't come around me with that because I will shut it down quick. You're not gonna come around me talking about somebody that I'm friends with or somebody I love or whatever. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna disrespect them in my presence. That's how I am. So I'm glad that Marlo got her together and basically told her, like, you're not going to sit up here and tell me who to be friends with. Like, you keep saying, oh, it's the same way for you, but you feel some type of way about Marlo and Kenya being friends. Let's be real. You feel some type of way. You're in your feelings, and it shows on your face, in your demeanor, your body language. Like, girl, bye. Not with it. After that, Latoya shows up. This girl is crazy, and I really understand now why Kenya said what she said on Speak on It, because Latoya was doing a lot. She was doing too much, to be honest, to be liked by them. She came in there with those straps on her titties, okay, and she had the nerve to come in there like that. And I ain't gonna lie, her titties look nice, but that's besides the point. And then she puts her shirt on or whatever, and then and then Toya, I mean, excuse me, and then Drew comes and joins them, and then Drew and Toya hug, and then I'm thinking at this point in time it's going to be a great night between them. Hopefully, that's what I'm thinking, but I was so wrong. Then they play Truth or Dare jingle, and Toya reads it as it says, "If you could smash anyone in this group, who would it be?" She turns over to Drew and says, "Drew," and we clearly know we want to fuck her. She want to fuck her based off of all of that sexual energy between them. Bolo. I'm trying to get her accent right because I love her accent though. I love it, and we all know that Drew, Latoya wants to fuck Drew because the way their sexual chemistry has been off the charts. The sexual tension is in the air. Y'all can't tell me that nothing happened with them. Something had to have happened with them more than a kiss. Had to, because they're too pressed over each other. If you ask me, like, oh boy, way too pressed over each other. Then Drew impersonates Shamia, and that's a pretty good imitation. You know how Shamia's a freak hoe. Then it was a dare for Marlo to show her titties or something like that, so she runs around her titties. And then this is what I said in my notes. Marlo has some pretty ass titties. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. They're pretty, really pretty, really pretty. I'm glad we got a glimpse of them, even though we didn't get to see the full, you know. But I'm glad. Then after that, Toya Toya got up and imitated Portia walking, but her Portia walk was accurate because y'all know Portia got an ass on her for real. Her ass looks amazing, but she got an ass on her though for real. Toya's ass is nothing compared to Portia's ass. Then they bring up Kenya again. Toya starts being messy, bringing up the whole thing, saying that Bolo made a video saying that it was true and that he had sex with them. And Portia calls her out. She's like, "Girl, I know you lying." And then Toya starts blaming Kenya for the whole for the for the tea being released to the blogs. And I said this in my notes. Toya's pissing me off, placing the blame at Kenya, but that's supposed to be your girl. You're supposed to give your girl the benefit of the doubt, no matter how suspect it may seem. I don't got to. I don't go. Excuse me. I don't go to people my homegirls don't fuck with discussing her, allowing her to be mentioned in a negative way. I don't do that bullshit. Period. Like, yeah, that's some fake ass shit. Like, how are you supposed to be Kenya's homegirl? And you know Kenya don't fuck with them, the rest of them. Okay, you know that Kenya is only close with a few people in the cast. Why would you do that? Why would you go there being messy, talking about her, dogging her out? I don't like that shit. Even if you feel like Kenya's sus, you don't do that. You don't drag her in the way you have. You don't do her like that. Period, because she ain't doing you like that. And it's bullshit the way you're doing her. And I can't wait for the reunion. She needs to drag you. No wonder she was going hard on you last week for that Speak On It episode. I can't wait for the reunion, Kenya. You better gather these hoes' edges. They've been trying you all season long. They've been talking about you all season long. You need to drag them because I'm tired of them coming for you and just I'm tired of it. But Latoya, mm, girl, and then I was actually surprised. Portia starts calling Latoya out, basically saying to her, "Girl, you acting two ways, like you being flippy floppy." Regardless of, and she's basically saying like, regardless of how she feels towards Kenya or whatever, I wouldn't want to be friends with someone that's gonna sit up there and talk all this shit and throw me under the bus. And that's basically what Toya is doing, and that's some foo foo ass shit. And then Drew call, and they start talking about how Toya is the vice president of Kenya. That had producers are shady. They're really shady because they had Toya as the VP of the United States of Kenya. I was screaming. And so Drew calls out Latoya because she was basically bringing up how Latoya told her, like, brought up about her whole incident with Bolo. And then Latoya drags Drew saying, "You said I don't honor marriage. Well, do you honor marriage, bumping and grinding all against fucking Bolo?" And then Drew got pressed and said, "That's why your husband trying to cancel your ass. Like, let's not go there." Toya says, "That's why your marriage is struggling." I hollered. Drew lies. Drew lies and says, "I have a perfect marriage, a perfect hairline, bitch, and three perfect children, bitch." And I was just sitting here looking at the screen like, girl, no, you didn't. First of all, your hairline is always fucked up, girl. I'm sorry. I'm just be real. I'm be honest here now. Let's not do this. Second of all, you don't have a perfect marriage because if you had a perfect marriage, your nigga would have not have left y'all for no 3 days like a thief in the night, creeping in the night, leaving y'all high and dry, and then not telling you where the hell he was at. Clearly, by what we've seen from this show, your marriage is not perfect. Everything is not under wraps because he's constantly making decisions without you. It doesn't care to tell you anything. Your marriage is not perfect, girl. So stop. Stop with the lies. Stop with the foolishness. Stop. 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 So after that, Toya calmly is dragging her and saying, "Keep on going, bitch." And then Drew says, "Latoya forever, no, Latoya never, never, ever, ever." And I'm just like, girl, you've been rehearsing that all season. You've been ready to tell her that, girl. So yeah. After that, they start getting up, and so we're thinking that Drew and Latoya are gonna actually like physically fight because it almost got to that point. Marlo runs over and gets between them, and then Drew says, "Don't ever say my name in regards to things you don't know for a fact." And then Latoya says, "You mad because you was up on Bolo?" And then Drew says, "You ain't say nothing about what you was doing." I was sitting up here like, what, girl? What was you doing, girl? Like, I was in the corner. I don't know if y'all saw me. I was in the corner on the TV screen, and I was just sitting up here wondering to myself. I was just like, I was in the corner, because of course they're not gonna show me on camera because they be doing me wrong. They be doing me, they don't be doing me justice. So I was sitting over there on the other couch and just sipping my tea, sipping my wine, whatever. And I was just sitting up here like, girl, what was she doing, girl? Tell us. We want to know. I want to know. We want to know. Tell us what the fuck was Latoya doing, baby? Portia says, "I cannot keep up with these girls. Y'all was just twerking, having a good time. Now she's about to give yo ass Toya a first class ticket to Chi Town." I was dead. You know what? Portia gets on my nerves and annoys me 95% of the time, but her reads in her interviews be on point sometimes. And Drew says, "Keep my name out your fucking mouth," and I'm dead serious about that. And then Latoya mocked her and was like, "Drew, Drew, 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 bitch." And then Drew spills some tea and says that, and Drew spills some tea and puts herself out there and incriminates herself and says that she was on all fours on the coffee table making her ass clap against Bolo. And I was like, oh, bitch. And she said, and my husband loved it, so what's the problem? And then Drew in her confessional says, Latoya, never, never play with your makeup, play dress up on YouTube, but do not play with me. Don't do it. And then Shamia out of nowhere says, y'all know what? I understand the aunties can get together in fellowship, but you nieces be trying to fight. And I hollered because it is so true. They do every time. Y'all can't go nowhere. Y'all always trying to fight. But y'all want to throw shade at the aunties though. But the aunties know how to conduct themselves as professional women. Okay? The aunties know how to conduct themselves. Y'all are some ratchet hoes. And then Toya says, well, when the truth comes out, it hurts. Ooh. Drew says, you don't ever have to speak for me. And then Toya and Portia get to talking again. And then she's back on that fake shit again. And that's when and that's when the whole tape rewinded to when Kenya said if it was leaked to B Scott potentially or TMZ that maybe it was her, basically alluding. And this was the part I was talking about earlier, but I skipped ahead, so I'm gonna just go ahead and read what my note says. Then Toya lies on Kenya, claiming Kenya told her that Toya ate out Portia when Kenya was told that Toya ate out Portia. Saying something and being told something are two different things. Yeah, the way she said it was as if Kenya was gossiping, as if Kenya said that she did that. When Kenya told her specifically, I was told that you ate out Portia. Like, how you gonna turn that on Kenya and be fake as hell? Like, that's some fake ass shit. I'm here for you causing drama and all this shit, but I'm not here for you being fake as fuck. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that shit at all. Period. Um, and then I said Toya goes so far spilling Kenya's business that she only told Candy and Toya about, from what we know. And this is where I get pissed off even more with Toya. And then, surprisingly, shockingly, because y'all know Drew's been coming for Kenya since she stepped on the scene. Drew has. She's been coming at her, starting shit with her, doing the most, whatever. And I was honestly surprised when Drew called her out and basically told her, don't be going around telling Kenya's business, especially to them. Knowingly, they don't fuck with Kenya like that. And I said, like, you and Kenya supposed to be forming a friendship, and you're on some bullshit being messy and cutthroat and shit. Yes, it makes it interesting, but you're being fake as fuck. Like, that's how I felt about what the fuck Toya was doing. Like, she was on some bullshit. I'm not for that fake ass shit. Like, yeah, her and Kenya weren't friends for long, but it doesn't matter. If I trust you enough to open up to you about some personal shit that I only want a select few people knowing, that don't give you no right to go to people you know that don't fuck with me. You know that come for me, start all this shit with me. Why would you go to them telling them my fucking business? I'm not with that bullshit, period. And Marlo is not wrong, and I'm glad Marlo told her. Because if Marlo wouldn't have said shit at the reunion, Kenya would have felt some type of way. And if it was me, I would have felt some type of way too. Bitch, what the fuck? You was right there and seen the shit, and you didn't even say nothing to me. Bullshit. And then Toya says to Portia, I'm just saying, divorce ain't easy, as you know, pointing to Portia. And Portia was looking at her like, I know you fucking lying, bitch. She was looking at her like she was about to get her together, honey. Like she was about to slap the fuck out of her ass. That's how she was looking at Portia. I mean, how she was looking at Toya. And then Portia calls Toya out also and says, calls out Toya for telling Kenya's business, aka her friend's business, saying, you ain't going to church with me. And then Toya says, let's go to church together. And then now we all forward to Cynthia's wedding day. And you know what? One thing was crazy about it, I do not give a fuck about Portia, and I can't stand her ass half of the time. To be honest, literally 95% of the time, I can't stand Portia because she always on some bullshit, and it's always some shit with her. Can't stand that bitch. But one thing about it, two things for sure: that bitch can dress. That bitch always is on point, and the fact that she upstaged Cynthia at her own wedding is shade enough. That is crazy how this bitch wasn't even getting married, and she looked better than the wedding girl. The wedding bride, excuse me. That is crazy. Then Drew and Cynthia start talking on the phone, and Drew's sounding like she was sucking too much dick. and she telling Cynthia, "Girl, I can't sing, honey." And I'm like, "Yeah, all that screaming and hollering you did last night, that's probably why you couldn't sing. Either that or you sucking too much dick. It's one or the other." And then Cynthia starts talking about Mike again, and I'm just like, and honestly, like, she's so like, we've never seen Cynthia blush up like this ever, because she damn sure wasn't this happy with Peter. And that's not me being shady. That's me being real. She was never this happy with Peter, and that's real talk. And they were together for 8 years. Crazy. And she even starts talking about how much she loves Mike, even with his hair receding. And they were so shady when they got to the wedding, and we saw that bald spot in the back of his head. Girl, no ma'am. And I love to see Kenya showing up and supporting Cynthia in one of her biggest moments of her life and one of the most important days of her life. And she says basically it was amazing that Cynthia found love twice. And I know some people feel as if she was being shady. I don't feel like she was being shady when she said that, because I found love twice. So what the fuck? Does that mean I'm shading myself? No. And then they take a bunch of pictures, and then they walk down the aisle, and Candy looked amazing. Like, oh, her dress just gave me everything I needed. I loved her makeup. I loved her hair. She did a little cute little walk. But baby, when my queen Kenya Summer Moore walked down that aisle, honey, giving you body, giving you face, giving you everything you wanted and needing, I said, you better do that shit, girl. You better, Kenya. Giving me everything I needed, everything I wanted, everything we all needed. She gave me everything. Eva was snatched too, honey. Yes, God. I love what Eva had on from top to bottom. I loved it. And then cuts to Drew looking over, peeking, looking at the wedding, and basically saying she's feeling some type of way because Cynthia's wedding is all huge and outlandish, and she wasn't lucky when she married Ralph, because it was just her, Ralph, and the pastor. Well, that's all you can afford. Then, girl, we get to the part where Noelle gives Cynthia away, and she crying like she ain't gonna never see her mama again. And it was a cute scene, but I was just sitting up here like, girl, like, why you crying like you ain't gonna see her again, girl? You know y'all gonna talk all the time. You know y'all gonna be able to see each other. You crying like she going away. You crying like she dying. Like, girl. Then they flashed to Noelle's stomach, and it looked like she was pregnant, and I was here for it, and I'm just like, girl. I saw somebody say something ignorant on Twitter though, talking about, isn't Noelle supposed to be a lesbian? First of all, Noelle never said she was a lesbian. She said she was sexually fluid, meaning she's attracted to both men and women. Like, y'all need to stop it with y'all ignorance and homophobia. It's really ignorant. It's really ignorant, honestly. Ugh. And then it cuts to Portia going backstage to give Cynthia love and congratulating her. And I said, it's a cute moment for how far they've come, because y'all know they've been through some shit through the show as well. And then everybody starts dancing, having a good time and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere, in the midst of everybody dancing, here come production with the bullshit. So this is a hot mic situation. If y'all didn't know, I don't think Ava was aware she was being recorded. I really don't think she was aware. So some random person comes up to Eva and starts talking about the shit, and that's in the blog. And Eva's all drunk and fucked up. Like, you can tell by what she's saying. She's all drunk. She's all fucked up. She ain't in the right state of mind. Girl was just telling it all, honey, but telling the wrong tea. Saying that before the cameras went up, the girls licking each other's shit. They start talking about Bolo's dick and Bolo's dick being big. And then Eva says they made him pull his dick out, and that's what made everybody get fucked. Girl, no. You done incriminated everybody, and you told the story wrong. I'm done, because everybody didn't get some Ebola. It wasn't everybody. It was. certain people.
Mm.
Then they panned to Cynthia and Mike, and Cynthia whispered to him, saying, "Baby, I can't wait to fuck Hakeem." And I felt her on that. That's what she was ready for. She's like, they both were like, "I can't wait to get to this hotel. I'm gonna tear your ass up." That's basically what that was giving me, honey. Oh. Then after that, they cut the Dennis and Portia going out to eat. Then I said, then they start the Dennis and Portia bullshit that everybody's tired of seeing. If they're gonna be together, then be together. But if they're gonna break up, then do that. It's always off, then on. Like, figure out what the fuck y'all want, and that's how I feel. And then I said, and I don't know why Dennis acts shocked on why they're not together. You constantly cheated on her and disrespected her and didn't do right by her. And I said, I also feel like, regardless of what they go through, that doesn't give Portia's mom to not let Dennis see and communicate with his child. Because I don't agree with that shit. That is wrong as fuck. I mean, fuck how ain't shit he is as a person, as a husband, as a boyfriend, as a nigga. You don't do that to him because he is a father now. You don't do that shit. That's some bullshit, honestly. Like, I don't like, I know that nigga did her dead ass wrong, but it wasn't like she wasn't warned. Multiple people warned her ass. She wanted to be stupid and stick by his hot dog loving ass, his animals loving ass. And I'm sorry, but it needed to be said. It's not like people didn't try to look out for you. You just wanted to stick by this nigga no matter what. And this nigga made you look stupid multiple times in the public, cheat on you while you were fucking pregnant. He ain't shit, period. But at the end of the day, that's the father of your child. And your mom ain't got no right to keep him from seeing his daughter. That's not right, period. I don't care what y'all go through. You don't keep that man from his daughter, from his child, when he's making an effort. He's being a better father to her than your dad was to you. I ain't for that. I ain't for that. Period. Period. Point blank. Uh. Mm. I'm not for that. Period. And then they started talking about the whole shit, and then they were doing they included the B Scott article, and they did the caption. I'm sorry, the caption was so funny. Like, I can't remember it right now, but it was so funny and shady at the same time. And then Dennis basically got her together at one of these parts. He basically said, "We are too old to be acting like this." And Portia got in her feelings because she got red, but it's the truth. Y'all are too old to be playing these games, these childish ass games. Either y'all gonna be together or y'all not. It's one or the other. Okay? Ain't no point in y'all sitting up here playing these games, playing these mind games, fucking with our intelligence, messing with everybody else's intelligence. Either y'all gonna be together or y'all not. At the end of the day, I'm not one of those people that feel like once a cheater, always a cheater. No, because that's not always the case. He could change potentially. He ain't shit, but he could change. But do we honestly think he will change? No, but he could change. They just need to figure out how to communicate and keep shit separate. Because at the end of the day, that is Pilar's father. Should be in her life as much as possible. Period. Point blank. I don't give a damn what y'all go through. He don't need to not have a relationship with her all because your mom is in her feelings because of the way he treated you. And the way he treated you was wrong, yes, but at the end of the day, Pilar is his daughter too. He deserves just as much of a right as you do. Period. And I'm not going to debate nobody on that because I believe in letting a man be there for his child regardless of the relationship between him and the father or whatever the case is. I don't believe in that other stuff. And then Portia says after that, she doesn't try to be a bitch, but she has to act like strong to protect herself. And I understand where she's coming from. I mean, I've been there. I've been there for real. And I also said this: I'm tired for y'all, and they were both saying how they were tired and shit. And I was like, I'm tired for y'all to keep seeing this bullshit play out. And I said, but if y'all do decide to not be together anymore, I said they need to work on their communication because at the end of the day, they're gonna always be tied to each other. They're gonna always be in each other's life because of the fact that they have a baby together. They have a child together. Pilar's gonna be in their life for the rest of their life, no matter what. They're gonna always be in each other's life. So it's like y'all need to figure out what y'all doing because Pilar don't need to deal with all this foolishness and this nonsense. She don't need that. She needs love from both sides, from both parents. And that's basically was the end of the episode. And then I said next week's episode it looks good, really good, honey. They about to go to New Orleans and set that place on fire. Can't wait to see Big Frida. Um, and it looks like Fallon is going to be getting Miss Toya together, and I'm here for it because I really do like Fallon. I really do like Fallon a lot. So, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And it looks like Miss Kenya is going to be getting Toya together because the scene before that flash scene shows Marlo is going to be the one to tell Kenya what Toya told her while they were there. And I'm glad that Marlo told her the truth because if it was me, I'd be like, like what happened or whatever. Like, first of all, Kenya shouldn't have been brought up or mentioned. Period. My honest opinion. But the fact that your homegirl, who's supposed to be your homegirl, went around telling your business and all this other stuff, that was shady and that was shicey, and I'm not with that. I'm not with that because I'm not going to discuss my friend business with other people. Period. I'm not, no, especially people don't fool with her like that. Why would you do that, Toya? Like for real. It looks like next week I'm gonna have to drag you as well, but I'm gonna do what I have to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Um, y'all already know all my social medias and stuff, and I'm gonna, of course, put it in there so you guys can contact me on social media if you want to. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for y'all support. So many different videos are coming. I know I still haven't done Riverdale. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to do Riverdale, cover that. And I'm going to do Married to Medicine episodes 1 and 2 because I did watch the second episode tonight. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to combine both episodes 1 and 2 for Married to Medicine, and I'm going to do Riverdale, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of other videos throughout the week. So I'm excited about that. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Have a beautiful, blessed morning. It's 4 something. It's almost 4:30. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded, edited, and all that. So, all right. All right, I love you guys. Peace. Till next time, y'all be safe. And I'll see y'all again on Sunday for the new episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. Because I'm not going to miss a review. I told y'all I wasn't going to do a review till the dungeon episode. So I've been doing consistent reviews since the dungeon episode. Because, like they said on Can You Speak on It, bitch. See, Real Housewives of Atlanta season 13 really started in the dungeon. Because that other shit that was boring, girl, bye. But anyways, bye.